Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle called LitBee from YuRu Chen. This is fun. All right. It is a grid pattern. However, we have found, well, of course you can do whatever you want. It's just very interesting. You don't necessarily have to do it in a grid. So, but I will show it to you in a grid because that's how it is in the step out. So, and at the time of this recording, it's Friday. The Friday after Thanksgiving, which we here in the U.S. call Black Friday. I think it's finally the time that retail is in the black per se versus in the red, and lots of sales, all of that. So we thought we would have fun, and because it was Thanksgiving yesterday, we did our Tangle time. Normally on Thursday, but this time it was on Friday. And oh my gosh, we had a lot of fun. And we played off on the whole Black Friday theme. So those, if you had a black tile, which I will show you mine later, we just had a lot of fun with that. We have a lot of fun anyway. We had even more fun. All right. So on my version of the step outs, and you'll see those in the description section, I decided to take apart some of the other, some of the steps that YuRu has, just because some of it is because I know how I am, and it's like, well, how exactly did you achieve that shape? And some of it is for clarity of just to be able to see it. This was more, I always want to make sure that if you are brand new to Zentangle, that you can pretty much follow. That's always my aim in the back of my head. So, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I made my step out a little bit longer just for that reason. And I added at the very beginning, just a thought that you can try if it might help. And I found it helped me as long as I could kind of get this little dot in the middle-esque. It's all right. So if you wish, a dot, just a placement dot, so just a very light dot in the middle of wherever you want this. And now of course it doesn't matter which direction you go, but we're going to do 2 seed shapes diagonal. So starting on that center dot or ending, depending on which way you like to draw. And a seed shape, as you know, curve line going one direction, curve line going the opposite direction, creating what looks like a seed. Diagonal. Okay, next we're going to do kind of like a diamond shape. And this part I separated out just when my gut says do it, I just do it. So on mine, I drew 2 lines like this. So that's the first step. And I always do them too short. It's all right. Well, not too short. I have learned if you can place this part up a little bit, you have a little bit more room for one of the next steps. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then we're going to do it the opposite way. On YuRu, she shows where you could just do it like this, kind of in one step. And I like doing it in multiple steps. Whatever works for you is great. Okay, then we're going to aura those diamond shapes. So coming from the same point, though, and swooping out a little further, and then coming back to that same point. Both sides. This is, well, we'll wait till the end. Never mind. I'll wait. Sorry, teaser. I'm going to say something at the end that I was going to say now. All right, so we do that. I was going to talk about what it looks like when it's finished. I mean, you saw it on the beginning graphic, but it doesn't make sense quite right now. Just because I was thinking about it doesn't mean anything. All right, now from here, we're going to aura essentially the seed shape. But here's where I started. So from this point here on that diamond, and it, a curved shape-ish. Some of mine ended up being, kind of straight, and it doesn't matter. And then we're going to fill this in with lines. You do it however you want to do it. What I found easiest is I'm going to go midway and basically subdivide that section as best I can, and then divide the other sections. It's one of those, if you didn't have enough room, you could, and I like starting here because this is where you want it to end. But if I'm not good enough to be able to put like just 2 in there if I only had a little bit of room. It's not comfortable to do that. They always end up wonky. So I would much rather, I prefer if I can do it this way, that's the way I'm going to do it. All right. And we're going to do this on both sides. And yes, I do like to turn the tile so I can use that natural curve of the hand. Sometimes I don't. Just like when I did the seeds, I did one way, did the other without turning it. It just depends. Like that. And then we'll do the other side. See that one? That one's is a little bit more straight. But what's neat is, if the inner ones are curved, it doesn't matter so much on that outer one. Just work with what you got and the space that you have. I do sometimes like coming from this line so that way I can place, okay, this is about midway, and then, aim for this. And sometimes I do it the other way, but I like to do it this way. My head likes to do it this way. Sometimes the pen has a mind of its own, as you know. And there we go. All right, last step, and isn't that neat looking so far, is we just do a couple, 3 little lines coming from the center. Like that. It's super cute. And you know what? I did not do any shading on my other ones yet. But let's do some here. Ooh, this could a lot of things could be determined on what you want to emphasize. I'm going to go with my standard rules of like these lines. Well, actually, they're kind of, I didn't do them too bad. They do look like they're tucked underneath there. I didn't even think of, let's line those up. I love it when that happens. So let's put some graphite on those 2 sides. We'll do one side at a time. And then we can accentuate this, even though we kind of have shaded with the pencil, or the pen, I mean. What is this color? Oh, that's blue. I don't want blue. We're having so much fun. Well, I usually have stuff all over my desk anyway. And after we have sessions, it's like, what's even worse? Okay. Bringing it down just a little bit. And then here. Ooh, same thing. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh. Okay. Just look at how shiny that is. It wasn't hard. I love this. The shading is just such magic. It's so much fun. Okay. And if you want it to look shinier, you could go darker. I might do that here on the part that I'm doing now. We'll see how this one ends up. Look at that. Okay, I'm just feeling the need. And then sometimes when you just add, I just want it to be a little darker at the, look at that, at the crevice. I didn't look up at the camera yet. Oh my gosh, now I have to do the other side. And so I just put a little bit of graphite right where you want it the darkest, obviously. And then you just want to blend it in, not necessarily bring it out. Like that first bit, I brought it out quite a bit. I'm happy with that, but just right at that end. So I'm doing very little circles. And sometimes just a scooching or a back and forth motion, just because we want to create that gradient. Where am I seeing lines? There. I don't like to see lines. Okay. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Oh my gosh, wait. Look at that. I'm sorry. I get so enamored with the shading because it is so magical. Now let's see. Can I do it on this? And it was just like I said, a little tad bit darker and right at the end there. And that was just a surprise. It just happened. And that's the other fun of Zentangle, is when something just happens. That's why we say there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. And why we say a lot of the stuff that we have in a lot of the philosophies, like don't use no erasers and there's no rulers and all of that, because you don't know what cool surprise might happen. And it's just fun. All right. I think I want to have a little extra contrast in here. So I'm just going to fill in this outer ring. And that's what's fun with this, is you get to do what you want. And since I already have stuff in there, is that going to wreck that? No, not really. The effect. It is kind of neat with it the way... No, it still looks cool. I probably didn't need to bother with the extra dark there, since I'm putting this solid right here. And let me also throw in there, when you're filling something in, if you have something that you're like, I didn't like how that turned out, filling it in is the best course correction for just that. Because then, and as long as it's something where you could go out a little bit further. Oh, I see a place sort of right now. Usually I try to outline, and then fill in. And let me finish this other side, and then I'll show you where I'm seeing. And it's one of those things you do have to be a little bit careful, because I've done this where I've created more issues for myself than I needed to. A lot of times, too, I will not necessarily take this thick graphic 1 pen up to those tips for that reason, too. As I can do it very carefully. All right. And then usually we'll do like this and just fill in those little bits. And then if there's some little bumps like this, and this is where okay, so up here it was a little bit off, so just tracing over the edge just to line things up. It's almost like ironing. I'm ironing out that little bump. Just take it right on the edge, and then you can keep, as long as like I said, as long as you can go out, we can't take anything away. But you can adjust the shape like this. Okay, this is a little bit thinner. Okay, so I can do like this. And I can change the shape a little bit. With caution, because sometimes it's like you just kind of can make yourself a little nuts doing it. And then, why not? Let's use what's left on the tortillon and just put a little graphite around that perimeter, because I'm feeling like it needs something. And it's a good opportunity to just take some of that graphite off of there for the next time I use it. I hate that when it's you're like, oh, you put the pencil, you put the graphite down, and then you use your tortillon, and like, oh, it's so dark. Oh, I should have just wiped it off. Every once in a while, I'll do that. Okay. and then whichever way you want it to be. Now, because this is a grid pattern, this is essentially, it could be this all by itself. Today, and when I started our sessions, like I said, we were working on black. And so I decided, well, let's just do it straight. And here I did it, added some color, fun. And the extra fun with this is, because it's a fragment, I'm going to do it like with this, you can do it in a grid and put them, in whatever combination you want and create other neat patterns. All right, so I decided, I did a four square grid here. On my version of the step outs, I did it this way. On YuRu's, her sample has them all going the same direction except for the two opposite corners, which is neat. And then on those two opposite corners, she thickened it. So do take a look at that. So this one, beauty of working on black, you can pencil in stuff. So I penciled in the grid, but it's not necessarily really visible. I don't like using the eraser. That's just my thing. And so it's like, then I could do something else with it if I want afterwards, because it's not necessarily finished. But anyway, so that's with them going in. Then I decided, I wanted to do one with the opposite way, with the seed shapes going into the center. And it just creates something different. Now this is a 4 square. Imagine it on a bigger, a larger grid. You can have a lot of fun. So, and then, like I said, these are all pointing in. If I continue the grid though, you continue it however you want. So lots of fun. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click like. And if you liked it enough to see more, I gotta put my camera way up. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you subscribe to the channel. If you would like to participate in things like this, these are free classes that I do. I do have some that are paid, but on Thursday, it's called Tangle Time. If you go to my website, link is in the description. Find the link that says classes/sessions, and you have to scroll down. You'll see I have first, some of what the next classes are that have a fee. And then below that, I think I have a link up at the top too, so you can just jump right to it. So look for the Tangle Time. I do keep the current codes there, although you can follow me. So that way, if you're in a different time zone, if you follow me at one of the places that I have them posted, like Facebook, Eventbrite, Meetup, then it reminds you and it has it shown in your time zone versus you having to calculate it. But no, we have a lot of fun. This is what you say. Here's the tangle. Go. Here's the tangle. Here's how to do it. Go. Have fun. And the results are amazing. And what's the extra fun is we get great ideas from everybody else. And two, we're not dictating, here, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. We explain how the tangle works. And then it's up to you to do it however you want to do it. So it's an amazing time. Come and join us. And let's see, also, if you happen to be on Facebook, again, follow me there on my page. And then also we have a Tangle Addicts community page, or group, excuse me, where we just continue the fun there, posting stuff. It's mostly posting stuff and just admiring everybody else's work. There are sometimes conversations, we call them enabler alerts, where we're talking about pens or pencils or tools and things like that. And it's just a really great time. So if you'd like to be a part of a community of tanglers, come and join us. And I think that's it. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.